can like children be manipulated into having an altered gender?
Get work who are growing. So I think just for the sake of also the growing people to get a chance, the people who already high, give your charges. Yeah, people will come up to you. Brands have money. If they say they don't have money, bye, go to someone else. Yeah, if you want to work with me, you want the quality that we can provide you, you have to pay.
Can a person say that biologically there are only two genders?
No.
Before this video starts, I just want to let you guys know that Honey Singh is performing first time in Nepal this 8th of April alongside Vek, Dong and Yabesh. Use my code SAHAT10 to get 10% cash back from eSeva. So what is up everybody? Today we have Parakram. He's an influencer who posts online videos on YouTube, TikTok. Did I miss something in your introduction?
Where did you say YouTube, TikTok,
yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
All right.
Everything.
Yeah. So like you just came from India. How was your trip?
I was like, you just came out. No, it's been 10 years since I've come out. But
yeah, you went back for a trip.
No, this is India. I came back on the 15th. I had gone. It was this trip of mine was like my final goodbye to Bombay, because Sappe Mera Saman, which was there for 10 years that I was living there for, I had to bring all of them back here. So we were finally going there to go down and having everything shipped. So now finally we have nothing in Bombay.
So you're finally shifted to Nepal?
Finally, officially. Yeah.
And did you go for a specific show, or was it like just to shift?
So it was mainly to shift, but it so happened that the day I was leaving for Kathmandu, then Fashion Week was starting. So, I mean, there were brands and everyone who was like, why don't you be a part of it and, attend it and go? I said, I think I should. I'll make it about work also. So I just ended up attending, which was good fun.
I think like you have a similar relationship with Bombay where like for me, I also like glamorized the US like you did to Bombay, right? Like most teenagers right now like do fantasize about like going to like some other place and then living their dream. So you actually lived it, right? So how was your experience like actually living in Bombay and actually working with the stars that you wished?
I think it was a dream come true, and I'm happy that I also did it at an early age. Right after my school, I went to college, and so I could do all of the things that like all my fantasies of partying with Bollywood stars or being friends with them or working with them. All of that came true in many ways. You can never have enough, but I think now I'm at an age where I'm happy not needing to know everyone. It was a roller coaster ride, and I think all my dreams of fashion, styling, I wanted to be a film director, then my content creation influencer that people say, all of that happened in Bombay, and then is when I came to Nepal.
So like your relationship with fashion, right? I think if you see Parakram, he's always dressed up, right?
Thanks.
I think that's how I see it, right? So like when did your love for fashion come into place?
So I think I love being fashionable, but I can be very jallu at times. I don't know, is that a word in Nepal? In Hindi, jallu means like, they say like, you will see me in summers, it's always a t-shirt with a different color and jeans, pants, or joggers. But I save all the good clothes for when there are events and things like that. There are some people who can dress up every day, and I can't do that. That's too much of pressure to even like buy so many clothes, and I'd rather save that money to have fun. But thanks for complimenting me. What was the question?
Like when did your relationship with fashion like align in your life?
I think growing up, my mother was very fashionable, and was interested in dressing up, and she dressed me and my sister up also growing up, and I think it stuck onto me up until I was about 9-10. I didn't care much, but I think when I started growing a little, when I traveled abroad, then is when I was like, cool, they're like cool stuff. And that's when my love for fashion just came during puberty. And then after that, it's never gone. I think it's...
So like you being a stylist, could you like more explain what this role is like in the industry?
Now.
Ex-stylist.
I'm not going to style anyone in Nepal, because I think there are already so many good people. And for me to have starting styling here, I had to I have to understand everything, the market, and styling was very tough for me. It was a lot of hard work, and it was a lot of labor, as I would see it. And I did it. It was fun while it lasted. And when this content creation came, I said, dude, I'm gonna just style myself. Yeah, I don't need to style anybody else. But what was the question? I always miss the point.
My question was like, what's like the role of a stylist for a lot of people? They might not know the definition of stylist, what they do.
I think a stylist is very important because back in the days it was called costume, but now it's stylist. And stylists don't not only like make costumes for films, it's for events and to enhance a brand, a personality's fashion sense. Everyone can't be fashionable, and even if actors and people are fashionable, it's very difficult to arrange clothes themselves. And that's when you have to choose the right stylist who has the right vibe, who can dress you up well, who can change the whole
Just
game.
dress you up or actually make your dress?
Dress you up. So the stylist, that's the designer. The stylist is the middleman between the actor and the designer. The stylist gets clothes from the designer or the designer's PR people or shops and take permission to borrow clothes. And we have a bunch of options of clothes that we've taken from all different people, and the actor wears one which they like.
So growing up, what major did you take?
So I wanted to be a filmmaker and I wanted to do filmmaking course, but my dad said, no, do advertising. And then after that, do a more generic, like a course where you can see different aspects inside advertising only. And then you make your decision to master in a filmmaking course. I'm glad I did that because I think I worked for a film in Bombay while I was in college only, and that 1 month, 2 months of working, I was like, whoa, I don't want to be a film director. This is too much. This is too much pressure to be a film director. So I did advertising and I stuck onto that. I think that's helped me in everything I do, even because it also teaches you marketing, journalism. So it helped me with my styling. It helped me with my brand as a content creator.
So like talking a bit more about fashion, like where do you see Nepal's fashion, let's say, standards in compared to other the world?
So, if you compare it to the world in terms of the industry, there's no industry. It's all very few brands, and that also, I mean, they're still growing and there are a lot of hurdles on their way. Because also the country is in such a state, it's a poor country, economy is bad, nothing's going right. So there isn't any reason for fashion brands to come and invest in Nepal also. So in that terms, we are nowhere. But if you see the dressing sense and all, I think we Nepali people dress really well as compared to India. And I'm not generalizing because India has northeast, south, north, west. But as a whole, Nepali people dress up really well with whatever little resources we have. And we're fashionable people by nature.
I think fashion is just not the fast fashion. I think it's also like the culture thing we have, right? Tora Sural, and then we have other Gunyur Cholo as well. It's kind of like, I think that is also one of the rich thing that we have.
For sure. I think that culturally rich is South Asian, Masapi country has that.
Yeah.
So we aren't different from any other countries, but also like being cool and fashionable in terms of the global fashion trends. Nepal is very up and ahead. I mean,
yeah. So like you told in your other interviews and podcasts that you got to work with celebs hand to hand, right? So like, how was that experience? Could you explain a bit more?
As a stylist?
Yeah.
As an AD, I'll tell you first, when I was working as an assistant director for Zanjeer, I was a big fan of Priyanka Chopra and she was in it. And she already knew I was a big fan. So that was really fun. It was very interesting to see how actors have to look fresh and good on set when everything else is so uncomfortable, even the set and all. That was interesting. Styling with actors, everyone was very sweet. I was an assistant stylist for 80% of my career. I was only the last 6 months I became a stylist and then I quit. But actors were really sweet to me as an assistant director. They were never rude to me. I've never had any issues where they were mean or rude.
What about other stylists?
Yeah, I mean, there was this one big stylist who I worked with, and it was a horrible experience. And I do understand where they come from, because it's a very tough job. You need to be very good at management. You need to make sure all the clothes are taken on time, all the right clothes, the right measurements from the designers and PRs kept together, shown to the actor. The one which is selected is altered, needs to be unaltered again and sent back. And all of this has to be done in like a time frame which you need to return it back in. So it's very hectic. So I have had some stylists who have been a pain.
Pain as in like, were they rude?
Like rude, obnoxious, made me cry, and like where I've not even been able to like be there for like 20 days and I've left. Even though I was like, this is a big stylist. If I work with them, if I'm under them, it'll be great for my job. But it has been tough. And but it's okay. This time in Bombay, I met her, and I think it went
like
over.
I think what you meant is like it was very overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
Like, how did you deal with that in that situation?
I would just fight it. I would be like, I'm gonna work, because even with good stylists, being an assistant stylist, you have to do all the running around. You have to be there, go to every store, contact all the PR people, take approvals, click pictures for the stylist to approve, and then bring those clothes, all of that, do that, tailor. It was really tough. But like, I mean, you have to hustle, and in Bombay, it's all about, if you need to survive, you need to get the job done.
So, like, what are the main differences that Bombay and Nepal has, in your opinion?
Personally or in general, or my opinion?
Yeah,
I
both.
think, I mean, they both are similar because they both are a big city where a lot of people come to work, people from outside the city. But Bombay is very fast paced and very cutthroat, which I'm sure Kathmandu also is. I may not have faced that because my career started in the right time, and during COVID and TikTok and everything worked out quite quickly for me. But Bombay is very cutthroat and competitive and tough life, and everything's so far away. Kathmandu is more chill, and it depends how you can, like, some people may not suit them. They may end up being lazier here. When Bombay, you cannot be lazy. You have to be doing something. You can't be like, I won't work. You need to sustain that way. But Kathmandu, I feel like it's more chill. But I think I have done enough of Bombay to now come back. I could have stayed on, but Kathmandu is, the quality of life is better. Maybe not.
It's also because from where we come from, it's always like we have stuff here, right? We don't have to be fast paced. Even though if we are overwhelmed, we can just like leave the job and maybe do something else.
Yeah.
We'll still be
We
secured.
don't have to pay our rents and everything
yeah.
else, because we also have a family who's doing all of that.
Yeah.
For sure. People who come from out, I'm sure it's tough for them.
Yeah. So you also talked about like, I think you made a TikTok video about it where like people are calling out because you didn't talk about the Nepali industry. You just talk about, I think, yeah.
Yeah. That is so like lame, because this is a promotion for Honey Singh coming to Nepal, and I did that promotion, and people just get triggered when anything Hindi, India, anything Nepali, people can get really triggered. And they're like, why do you not promote Nepali artists or singers or music? I'm like, dude, in TikTok, I don't dance on Hindi songs. All my songs are Nepali. I love it. And like, where is this? And I do promote, I mean, who am I to promote the singers? They're already so famous, but I definitely...
it's part of your job.
Yeah, it's part of my job, and it's not that I force myself to do it, because by the end of it, everything comes to a person naturally.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I love Hindi songs and great, but I don't like dancing to Hindi songs because I don't feel comfortable doing it. And I think Nepali people want to see Nepali music, and Nepali music is amazing, so I do it. If I didn't like Nepali music, I wouldn't have promoted it.
I think they just see the surface level, and that's,
there are a lot of frustrated people on TikTok, and also like sometimes when the video is a different genre from what I usually do, different people see it also on TikTok, and they're not necessarily people who like me, so they will have opinions.
Yeah, and then I think Twitter is more harsh than other social medias as well.
Twitter is the most harsh, dude. It's
like, do you want to say anything about Twitter?
I think Twitter, the thing is, Twitter is about making opinions, and then also the people get so butthurt when you make these opinions. And the thing is, I feel like I'm a very easy target on Twitter, because there are very few people from the industry who are on Twitter, and because they know they'll get trolled or some opinion will come, because they'll find one thing that is wrong or they feel is wrong in a word, and they'll just target you and make it all about that. I'm not going to back off. I don't lose that easily. If I take it as a challenge that, if you want to speak, I don't give a shit. So, I mean, I want to make an opinion. I come on Twitter, people make it about something else, like this certain plane crash tweet that I did. I was disturbed. And, if people follow my Twitter long, they know that I'm scared of flights. And this whole thing was so close to the heart, close to all of us. Everyone took it very personally because it was every day. I mean, people go to Pokhara, it's considered safe, a 77-seater. Weather was clear, so everyone got affected by that crash more than any other, So I speak about it. People try to say you are insensitive, you're making it about you. I'm like, dude, in Twitter, I'm going to make it about me. Now I'm not going to be talking about other people. It's just weird. And
because I think, you're 100% certain about your opinions, not like others, right?
Yeah.
If you speak about others, there might be misleading information. So I think it's about your opinion rather than others.
Yeah.
Twitter.
And I spoke about how tragic this accident is, and I ended up saying, I don't think I will fly again in the near future. And people are like, oh, you're making this about you. I'm like, goodness, where am I making this about me? I will speak about what I feel about it also, no? I mean, if me as a person is speaking on Twitter, it's my opinions. So it's a little, I mean, I also steer clear, but I won't fully give up. I will speak when I have to, but I like to, this negativity can go to hell, yeah.
So let's talk about before your like kind of fame or social media. When did you start like social media?
I started in Bombay when I got paid for an event, and I was like, this is fun to attend an event and post. And this was in 2017. That's when I started. And I mean, I'd set up an industry.
Did you start from like Instagram or?
Instagram. I started from Instagram. I'd set up a full base in Bombay, and I was never meant to come back.
So like, did it take off in Bombay or was it in the lockdown?
So in Bombay, when you're an influencer, a content creator, there's a niche. There's a niche because you're also doing Instagram and fashion content. So there's a niche of people who will follow you. So in that niche of people, I was doing well. It was rising. I was getting good work. Good brands were coming up to me because they believed in me, and things were going amazing there. But when I came to Nepal, things then took a different turn because TikTok is when I joined TikTok in Nepal. And then it just blew up in a different way. So I was like...
So were you posting daily?
Where?
In TikTok, in the lockdown?
Yeah, lockdown I was, because we also didn't have much to do.
Yeah.
And it was so exciting.
So what genre did you start off with in TikTok?
I started off with following... I think I started off with a few skin hacks, or like the homemade skin things my mom uses. I started posting that, and which did well. And then I followed some trends, which also did well. And the thing is, I included family members. It wasn't only about me. So people were more interested, like, this is someone new today, that, and people have, I think, always been curious. So, yeah, and then it turned into family content and dance and just hopping around.
So, like, even in, like, meeting influencers or your journey in Bombay, right? I think what you have done is networking, right? Networking with a lot of people. So some people might look up to that and, like, try to do something that you are trying to do, right? So what are some kind of advice that you would like to give them? Like, how do you network for the people who don't know what to do?
I think we all are in a process of climbing the social ladder. I think you need to be smart. You need to meet the right people at the right time, be at the right events. Or you have to work hard and make friends from the industry who could help you out. Go to the right places and create an impression, by the end of it, there's so many people trying to create an impression. How do you stand out? What is your USP? And have faith in it. Because in the beginning it's scary when you're networking. Who am I? Why am I? Why would they pay attention to me?
Exactly.
You need to have faith in yourself and know your good points. What could be of value to those people? And just go and be chill and have a blast. Like, if I need 2-3 drinks to be more comfortable in an event, I will do it and network. Find your way.
Have you had people help you to like network?
I mean, Bombay was all about networking. I knew no one there. None of my family, anyone is from Bombay or are connected to the industry there. So I started from scratch, and I networked my way to an extent where people were like, even in Bombay, they were like, Parakram, how many friends you have made in these 3-4 years of being in Bombay? We've not made living here, you know. So I think you also have the knack of it. And I mean, I always knew that I wanted to meet the right people, and they were of interest. So it came to me naturally. I would like to say that was just something that I have a quality of mine. But also you need to be at the right place at the right time. It's luck. Sometimes you go to an event or you meet someone, you're like, wow, it happened. I think just have faith in yourself and give it a shot.
I think you are one of the people who have strategically used social media to get like what you want, right? Because when I saw you, like you were making TikTok videos in lockdown, right? But like now you work with Daraj, right? I think you also got verified, which I want to talk about now. But like I think you have like, you know, placed that talk like because a lot of people, they do it for fun but might get followers but they don't get the brand deals, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was a purposeful step towards each you know, outcome.
For sure, because I came to Nepal already as a content creator, so I knew how it works, and I came here like, if I do TikTok and go viral, I want it to be for work and not just for fun. It would reap into like work. So I think and people saw my social media where I do promotions and they came up to me. Usually TikTokers would just do it for fun, and then it works out and they're like, okay, we'll do these collabs. Itni paisa much also something. For me, it's a job, it's a profession.
Yeah.
You know, it's my bread and butter. So I do it strategically. That's the only smart way to do it if you want to make money.
I think until and unless you tell yourself this is my bread and butter, I don't think people will take it seriously.
Yeah.
And you won't get the brand deals that you want.
Yeah, because people are like, oh, you know, why did you collaborate with this brand? Maybe it has a lot of sugar, or maybe it's not too healthy. The thing is, like, if I start picking and choosing like ethical stuff, there are no brands. No one is ethical,
Especially in Nepal.
Especially in Nepal. In India, you have options. In Nepal, there are some conscious brands, but they don't have the money to give me to pay. So it doesn't work that way. Obviously, don't promote something that you don't believe in. But, you know, one needs to just take it easy and like, don't target us like, oh my God, you promoted an alcohol brand, or you promoted a fizzy drink, or you promoted this. I'm like, dude, I drink it, so I'll promote it. And
it's your lifestyle.
It's your lifestyle, and people should be sensible enough to know what's right, if it's healthy or not. I'm not saying it's a healthy thing. I'm just promoting it and earning my money.
It's like whenever the famous people promote it, it's normal, right? Let's say a Budweiser event or like something like that. But when we or some kind of influencer, they promote it, they have the all
influencers are the easy targets because people, I don't know what it is. Do people think that these people have gotten popular or getting money doing nothing? No, it's not really that way. It's a new concept that people are still getting a hang of. I think they'll get used to it. When actors and all, it's a little maaf bio because, okay, they're actors. I don't understand the thing. Influencers really are the easy targets.
But I'll say a lot of people don't promote like the gambling websites that are
it's illegal only. So that's stupid.
That is off the line, right?
That is off the line.
But people still don't see it in certain ways.
Okay, No, there are a lot of unethical ways also that people promote things. And the thing is, the main issue why people get so butthurt is the term influencer is such a wrong term. Like, I still use it because everyone uses it, but who are we to be influencers? The influencers are the politicians, the big actors who can make such big... We are not influencers. Why have you given us this godly title? Influencers. That's why these people hate us, because they first put that term on us. And, you know, influencers, we're digital content creators, Instagrammers or TikTokers, you can say that, but not influencers. Everyone has the power to influence. No, it's not like we are the main sole people. For that, then you need to be a professional influencer. You can't just go out and... numbers and followers doesn't make you.
So I want to talk about like every person like has a kind of like a dream to be verified if you're a bit conscious on social media. So like, what was your experience when you got verified?
So it was always a dream. It was like something I need to get because it's my job. So when I was active on Instagram, I think I got it in 2019. This is 1 year before COVID in India only. And I worked towards it. There's a process. You need to have links. You need to be Googleable. Okay, you need to have a lot of links for you to be considered to verify, like you are someone. And I worked towards it. 2 years, I did my PR. I met the right people who could take my, who could cover my work and just put it on websites. And when that happened, and that's how I earned my verification. With TikTok, I got very lucky because the TikTok Indian team wanted me to join TikTok, and I said, hey, I'm already on TikTok. Now that you want me to join TikTok, why don't you verify me? And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, of course, we'll do that. So that's how it worked out.
I think a lot of people just want it, but they don't know why. Like, verification is a thing because they give it to you because you are someone. Like, until and unless you don't have a presence, or until and unless you don't have it, like, you don't earn it, I don't think people will just give you. I don't think Instagram will just give it out, right?
Yeah, for sure. Instagram, I think then lately there have been a racket where people buy, but that's scary because once if Instagram finds out,
you're banned.
You're banned.
Yeah.
That's scary. You don't mess around with like your work.
Yeah, and then, like, so I want to talk about your growing up stage, like with your parents, right? I think you have a really good relationship with your parents, and they have, like, supported you in a lot of ways, right? So I kind of wanted to ask this question, right? What do you think what parenting traits are grateful that your parents used, right? So like you would want to pass down in the future?
Yeah, I think they let me be. They weren't too harsh. They weren't too strict. They weren't too do this. I had to just make sure I do well in my exams. You don't have to get 90s or 80s. If you get 60s, 70s is fine. Or you can be average also. Don't fail, but do fine, but enjoy, chill. No pressure. I feel the pressure that kids can get to do this is a little hectic on the kid. It can traumatize them. So when I have children, I will let them make their decision, because I think even as kids, you do have a mind of your own, You are an adult when you're 18 to make certain law. That is by law. But I think I knew many things about myself, which is correct even now. When I was 8, 7, 6 years old, when my personality had already formed. So I think let the children make a decision,
Yeah. I also wanted to ask, since your parents were so supportive in your LGBTQI journey, right? Like, since Nepali parents, I still don't think they're accepting towards a lot of new, LGBT people, right? And then what are some messages that you would want them to know?
The people watching,
the parents especially, like who kind of disregard their kid, or like this, they hate on their kids just because they're different.
I think nowadays parents are also becoming woke, in the sense that they are seeing other people. There's so many parents, grandparents. When I go to weddings and functions, I see not relatives, but like relatives, co-relatives and all. They come up to me and say how cool it is and amazing. And I feel really good that, people from that generation is being accepting towards me. But at the same time, I wonder, would they accept their own kid? They would be, they may say, till it's not our own, it's fine. And that's what happens with most of the people in our part of the world. It shouldn't be our kids. It's fine if your friends or someone else or this, that is. But if it's my kid, it shouldn't. I think acceptance is very important. For you to be, acceptance by the parents is very important for the child to really be themselves and be the best versions of themselves. You can't stop a child from being gay, bisexual, transgender, lesbian. It is something that cannot be controlled or changed. So there's no point changing it. And I think in today's world, things are moving so rapidly all around the world, and I think those parents should be an example for other parents. And be the change, change this whole cycle of wanting to fit into the heteronormative standards of the world.
I think some kind of narrative also comes from being very socially paranoid, right? Because they don't really care about their children being this or that, but they care more about how the society will take them, right? Sure. Yeah, that I think is more of the situation than any. If I had a kid, right, I won't deny his existence, right? But it's more of the social pressure that comes in, right?
Yeah, which is so sad, no? Because it's like your own family's fine with it, but other members aren't okay with it, which was also in my case where there were like everyone gossiping about it in KTM when I came out in 2012, which was like back then it was a big thing also to come out, everyone talking about it, having an opinion. But I was just lucky to have my parents, like my parents and my close family, who would stand up and say, I'm very proud of him and he's doing great and just he'll do better than your children, and what can they say? They kept shut. And I think doing good or not, at least my work field of work is such where you see all the highlights of my work and it's so like bright and great and the love I'm getting and everything. I think it's an example I've said to my whole extended family that, see, I mean, I think I'm doing good, I'm doing great, and being gay has nothing to do with doing good or bad.
So I kind of want to dig in more about LGBTQI community as well as gender, sex, right? What I would suggest people is like be open to conversations, right? Because a lot of people still are scared to ask, and a lot of people are still scared to tell. Okay, so if you don't have the conversation, it will never be normalized. Since a lot of people talk about this, can like children be manipulated into having an altered gender?
Altered gender or sexuality? Both.
Both, yeah.
Children, of what I have noticed, the only way children have been manipulated into a different sexuality orientation is when they have been molested. A boy being molested by their uncle or their father or someone as a kid, it plays up in their head and they could start having feelings for men because of that, as well as women. So that I've seen. But otherwise, you cannot alter someone's mind by I'm just giving he for now, if a boy, because me, if there were so many women around in my life, beautiful women. I may have seen porn where there's a girl and a guy. You couldn't alter me to change and just look at the woman when, I was seeing the guy. So I think children cannot be altered. It is something that you are born with. It's a certain quality that you are born with, and you will be that way and it will not change. When it comes to bisexuality, then there are different spectrums. You may have phases where you like men more, women more, things like that. That I'm no one to speak because I'm not. But if you are gay, you will be gay. And from the age of 4 or 5, I remember having a crush on my male teachers. My male teachers in school, and it never changed. There was never a time where I was thinking I was seeing a lady nude and feeling good about it, and imagining seeing a lady nude and imagining about it. But I was seeing a man nude and like feeling. Yeah, it's just who you are, and it's as your personality is formed. You are, as people see some personality in the child, it's already instilled in you.
In the Western world, there's a narrative that like people are still skeptical about letting children change their gender before the age of 18, right? So what is your opinion on that?
So changing your gender. So this is for gender.
Before age of 18.
I think in today's time, kids know very early what they want. And that is amazing. That at such an early age, you already know. I know of some people who are already who already identify as a different gender, the opposite gender, and I've seen them grow. And with their parents' support, they've become the best version of themselves. They haven't had to deal with sticking till 18 to be a gender you don't identify with. If I was a trans woman, if I was a trans woman and I had to wait till 18 to turn into a woman physically, I would have been scarred by then. It's too late. There's some people who realize it later in life, and that's fine. But if you realize it early, you're blessed. I mean, and with today's education and with children having the resources to know what it is to be transgender, they can make a decision for themselves. No one will want to go and just force themselves or manipulate themselves to be a different gender when it is difficult to be transgender in today's world still. So I think if a child at an early age has understood that they are not comfortable in that gender, great, start working on changing it. be your best, be who you are, who you want to be as soon as possible.
What about changing things in your body before the age of 18?
Oh, like physically, like an operation?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works scientifically. If sometimes they say maybe it not be safe. I don't know if it is safe to till your organs are fully grown. So not necessarily 18 if your organs and all are fully what's it called, like grown by, I think they'll be like 14, 15, 16 years, then maybe, I guess. I don't know if you are allowed to, that is the doctors, I don't know about the safety way, but I've seen trans men who at 13 only have realized that they are trans, and he's like wrapped cloth tightly around the breasts before it could even grow. So now he doesn't have breasts at all naturally because he knew it, So there are things you can do at an early age.
About when I researched about this narrative came from this perspective where till 18, like, because all the big changes comes after 18. Till the age of 18, your brain is, I think, pretty much developed to a point where you can make rational decisions, like drinking, smoking, like driving, right?
Yeah.
So like after that only you're able to change your gender, because a lot of people might still be not sure, right?
Yeah.
Like what if they change their body and they realize that it's not? Because I think
then it was their decision. I think they felt like they wanted to change it then, and now they want to change it back. I feel like people give a lot of changing your gender. No biggie. If you feel like you don't believe in it, change it, and it's great if you can be able to change it. Because you're growing and you're also forming your personality, and if your personality, you're born a male and you don't identify as a male, you cannot wait till 18. It's too late. If you felt that when you are 8, 9, I mean, you don't have to fully get into a surgery, but your parents need to be accepting. And you see so many girls dress up like boys forever growing up. So many boys dressing like girls growing up, and that is their form of being transgender, like being being able to identify. That's how they identify themselves, as being transgender. So to change, to go under the operation, that I don't know what age is safe to do it, but if the doctors say it's not safe to do it before 18, then obviously safety is first. But apart from that, I think it's great. I mean, I would have known I'm gay when I was 5 or 6 if I had all these resources, and it would have made me less confused in the head for 10 years that I didn't know I was gay. So it's great to see people understand who they are, their gender, transgender people to realize, because there are people who realize it at 60, and they feel like they may have missed out in life.
I think you were I think you said in a podcast that you encourage people to speak out quickly, right? When like don't suppress what you are, right? I think you told that, right? Except even if it's privately, accept it. Don't suppress it.
Yeah, don't suppress your thoughts.
Yeah. I think so. I think I could relate that with Caitlyn Jenner, right? Where she suppressed her gender, right? But I think that affected, like, she came out a bit later, which I think affected her family, right?
Yeah.
So that like people around you might not get affected. Was that your narrative as well?
Yeah. So I feel like even if you don't want to tell anyone, by yourself, don't have hate towards it.
Yeah.
And it may be difficult to do that for a lot of people, because you are grown up told this is bad, these are the slurs, being gay, that was used as like slurs to make people feel bad. So you could have a lot of self-guilt and hate, but I keep telling people that there's nothing wrong, and just try to accept it within yourself. If you don't want to ever tell anyone ever that you're gay or you're anything, accept it within yourself, so that you are at least at peace, and don't
hate yourself.
Don't hate yourself, and even if you really feel guilty about it, at least accept yourself and say, this is me. Don't block it out, because everything else will come after you remove that blockage.
A lot of people I think it was around lockdown period, right? The new concept of they them came around. Right, people identifying themselves as they.
Yeah, not lockdown, but I think people got to know about it.
Yeah, people personally, for me, I got to know it around the lockdown period, right? But for me, it was kind of like I was not aware of it, so it was shocking for me first, because what I have learned in school was they them is normally referred to a lot of huge, like a crowd, they, them, right? And a single person using it, it was kind of different. But I got around and I knew, oh shit, this was because they don't want to be associated with the stereotypes of she or he, right?
Yeah.
So what's your opinion about this?
Yeah, so I think, with people being able to be themselves in the world, in the West and everywhere, and being able to have opinions about yourself and understand what they truly feel, and with people not prosecuting them, putting them to jail, they are being able to tell who they are and what they feel. There's so many people, we'll never be able to understand that because we have not faced it. Like, you will not be able to understand why I'm into another guy, and I will not be able to understand what you see sexually in a girl, because we don't feel that way. But
Yeah.
so in the beginning I was also like, oh, interesting, what is this? Like, there are people who don't, there's some who wouldn't like to be called he, him, or she, her. And then that's where they, them also comes, non-binary. And there's some people who protest with the idea of gender being a construct where, like, why are we making gender so important? Because there's so much inequalities, right? And so many stereotypes for different genders. So for some, it's like, I want to be non-binary, where they, them is, I'm not he or her, I'm they, them. You consider they, them as one, where we do not categorize someone on the basis of gender. And I think that's great, because slowly this whole concept of gendering needs to go. It may seem like, oh, it's only he and her, but the division causes a lot of barriers in the world, and a lot of inequalities, and a lot of complications. And
It's still an evolving thing.
There's a long way to go, but I think it's a great start, and it's good, it's powerful to see more people come out as non-binary.
So I wanted to kind of learn about what gender and sex is. What could you explain kind of like the difference between them?
This is I feel like I'm being questioned for so I think gender, like, sex is what you are assigned at birth, male, female, intersex, the three, if I'm not mistaken. And then gender is what you identify with, because then there's what's it called, transgender and cisgender. Not me forgetting cisgender. So sex is what you're assigned with.
Because I wanted to I wanted to ask another question, like, leading up to that, where, like, can a person say that biologically there are only two genders?
No, biologically there are three.
Three?
People don't intersex, no? The one which is where the organs are not formed. It's like semi-vagina, semi-penis. Yeah. So biologically there are three. It's just that people don't
But as socially, like, you can identify as anything.
What are the other genders then? There's male, female, intersex, and what else?
I think, those three.
And then non-binary means out of the whole binary of genders, right?
Yeah.
It is that, but also, what are the other? It is that only.
Yeah.
But people don't give attention to intersex, and I think that is also coming up with the whole LGBTQIA+.
The reason that I ask these questions are because a lot of people who I talk to, they're not comfortable asking these questions because they might think the other person might get offended, right? I think that kind of what's it called, restriction, like, that kind of restricts the whole awareness as well, because if you're not talking about it, if you're not making it normal, people won't know it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, have you had any experience where, like, people are really uncomfortable about asking you, and then you kind of educated them?
Yeah, people do get scared, but if they come from a good place where they want to understand, and I tell them, or if they come from a place where they're just being a dick and, like, trying to say, what is this, then I school them. But there are some people from the queer community who get upset because this is a question they always have to answer, and that's annoying. And that their point of view, which many times is my point of view, also, like, go to Google and read up, and then if you don't know, just say, I read this and I don't understand this part. And Google has so many things, like, people are being asked too much anyways, but it's okay to ask. From my side, if someone asks me genuinely, I would love to tell them, because we still need to educate so many people. Even in TikTok, I keep saying the same thing again. that this is how it is. People still don't get it, but I keep saying it because there are newer people watching it every time, and it's better to keep making people aware and reminding them, normalizing it.
So I kind of like seeing your TikTok, right? Your family is engaged in your TikTok as well, right? Like, do you kind of have this mind of like privacy? People might approach your family, and you're having your own thing, you know? Has it affected your family?
Privacy? No, I think they are thankfully very supportive, even though they're very private. My family is actually very private, but they are very supportive towards the work I do. And because of that, they will feature in my vlog sometimes, and they will feature in my TikToks and posts. But otherwise, my family, unfortunately, is very private. And even like when I make content with them, they're not like, they're not like comfortable. Oh, yeah. Not, camera, I don't care. This to China. They will be more like, oh, there's a camera, and they'll not be someone else, but they won't, Tio China, which I wish I had, but I appreciate the fact that they're very supportive. And privacy ko matter, I think they find it sweet and cute. Like, I mean, people outside are like, oh, you're Parakram's aunt, you're Parakram's grandmother. And they're like very like appreciative of it and say, oh, Paru, you're doing well. And this they get excited also. Like my mom till date gets so excited. Oh, but these people recognize. I'm like, Mom, get over it now. But they've been sweet.
So how do you like deal with like, because you're now famous, people recognize you, like how do you deal with people, like, because for some people it's really unsunny, like even though like they are coming like, oh, hello, hi, but it's still kind of unsunny, scary. At certain, like, has it gone normal? I would say it's normal, or are you still like when people approach you, it's still unsunny?
I think I thrive on it. I was born for this, and I never knew I could be famous. And now that I am famous, I love it. And I think the only motivation I get is when people come up to me and say hi, and they love me. And that's when I remember I need to work. I need to this love and the thing. I need to be reminded all the time. And it was something I always wanted to have. I think growing up, watching films and seeing these stars and like, wow, this is so fun. I never knew I could be it because I never wanted to be an actor or a singer. So I think I thrive on it. Like I think my grandfather, someone told me that you to thrive on it. I'm like, yeah, dude, I thrive on it. The more the merrier. And I think people are not dangerous as such. The haters could be dangerous, but luckily till now, none of my haters haven't come up and said to me. I think these haters are all only keyboard haters, and they don't have the guts to come, thank God, because I don't want to deal with it. That'll be scary. But people are loving this. Sometimes they'll talk when I'm like on the way on the road. And I'll sweetly say, la, I'm going, hey, you want to take a picture? Thank you. I speak to them and all. I'm like, let's take a picture. And sometimes it could be overbearing. Some people can be a little, but it's like, they take time to watch my videos. I mean, it's okay,
So like I kind of wanted to also talk about your influencer, I mean, your TikTok journey as well, right? Because a lot of people, when it comes to brands, right? I also talked this with Alana Didi, right? She was like, there's a disruption in the market where people are charging way less when they're not supposed to, because we as influencers or we as TikTokers, right, have a lot of thing to give.
Yeah.
So like we're charging less. So anything you want to say in that?
Yeah, I think
regards?
if you can provide so much value to a brand just by posting it on your social media, you need to charge accordingly. And I think people don't know any less, and they're being what's it called? Used for it. I forget that word. Oops. Yeah, and they're being kind of like. Used for it, but I think they need to be told that you guys have so much value. Charge your prices, or take consultancy like from other content creators. I think now like people are understanding their value and they have increased their prices. And for some people, it's like they will miss out on a lot if they charge more and not get the offer. They'd rather get a lesser amount and get something, So I understand that. But you guys need to value yourselves. You guys are doing great on social media. Charge the prices.
Because I think for a lot of teenagers, right, they don't know a lot of lot about the industry, right? You might kind of get you might kind of have this idea because of you worked with influencers in the past, right? And you know the market a bit, but still these teenagers still are growing, right? They don't know they don't know what to charge or how much they should ask, right? So I think that is creating the disruption where like certain brands are just like using them.
See, teenagers who are growing, you can charge a less amount because you're still growing, but there's some people who are huge and their views get a lot, but they're undercharging. Then I'm like, dude, you people are like, if you charge that, putting the new people, what will they charge? Nothing. You know, you are undercharging yourself, and on top of that, the other people, why would the other people get work who are growing? So I think just for the sake of also the growing people to get a chance, the people who already high, give your charges, yeah, people will come up to you. Brands have money. If they say they don't have money, bye, go to someone else, yeah. You know, if you want to work with me, you want the quality that we can provide you, you have to pay. And whatever I charge or anyone charges is dirt cheap, but it is what the market is in Nepal. The same thing that I charge in NC here, I used to charge ICMA when I was in India. And in India, I was growing. By now, I would have charged double, triple in India, you know. But here, I can't grow. I haven't increased my charges at all. This is just a base charge, which people will not pay more.
Yeah, I think people also need to like accept it as a job.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, gardaina hola khalko narrative, right? But if you ask for it, I think they will, you know?
Yeah, and also then, you know, there's some very big content creators who get views, get likes, but are not being able to create an impact. And that's why they also may not charge much, or the brands don't want to work with them. Some people may have a smaller following, but they are being able to create an impact. That's why so many people are going to micro influencers, because they have a niche who will listen to them, work with them, something about them that they promote, people will buy, and that's why they charge more. So त्यो पनि हुन सक्छ, but sometimes I see people who are like being able to create so much view. It's an awareness you're able to create about a brand. People may not buy it, but that awareness ko lai pani you have to charge.
Yeah. So I always ask the influencers that I speak to, right? Like, have you had any like payment issues with brands?
So
because like the pay the artist movement kind of right?
I have been very lucky and privileged not to have that issue at all, and it's surprising because I also thought Nepal they'll be late or this. Somehow payment happens really quickly and fast, and India ma mero baru 3 mahina ko in contract they'll pay you by 3 months, and they pay on the 3rd month pachi. So that is a long time, okay? And there I still have to run around, but here people are good with payments for me. I don't know if they're scared that I'm going to speak out or what it is. They see the angry side of me. Whatever it is, it's worked out well, and I've never had a problem.
Yeah, but I think the music artists are the ones who have that problem that I see in social media.
Oh, music artists, actors. Actors also deal with it because it's a bigger money, bigger chunk, I guess. We are as a small amounts. So actors, even in India, they've had problems with payments, but I've been lucky somehow. I don't know, touch wood.
So like, also I want to talk about like the hate, right? Because the amount of hate that some people have towards the community, LGBTQI community, right? I think I still don't understand their perspective, right? Because they're so like, they'll like you, right? They'll like your work, they'll like your stuff. But once they know that you're from that community, they will resent you. They'll you know, they'll have this other perspective.
Yeah. I think that happened with Vision also faced something like that.
Yeah. When I posted a TikTok, right, the person was like, I like your, you know, work as a whole, right? But when I knew that you were from the LGBTQI community, now I stopped liking you. And then I was like,
and it doesn't make sense. What was that person expecting, that Vision is gonna hook up with them or something, and they've lost the opportunity?
Yeah, exactly.
What is it that makes you hate them? I just don't get it. I mean, like, you know, people like us who are accepting and who don't differentiate between people from the LGBTQI community can't understand what they see. What is it for them to hate? Like, what have they harmed? I don't understand. Why do they feel so like violated or like triggered, or they feel like, you know, I don't understand. You guys are the majority for a reason. I don't think ever we will be the majority. No matter what, we will always still be a minority group because statistically wise, the majority of people are straight, you know?
Yeah.
So what is it that is making you feel violated? The same thing goes with women. When women are getting more power, men get so frightened, like, and rightfully so, they should get frightened because equality is something they don't like. It's weird. I don't understand this hate.
Have you like kind of tried to be in their shoes and see why they're hating, or is it like, no, I don't even bother trying to?
The only time I see be in their shoes, like maybe they are also from the they are also closeted and they have resentment. And I know a lot of people who have been so hateful and resentful are the ones who are found out they also like guys. They swing the other way around. And then I'm like, okay, maybe because of that. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, in today's time and age, yes, you may have family who will be not accepting, very backwards or old school and will throw you out. But like, yeah, with your own friends and groups, I mean, open up, loosen up, yeah. There's so much opportunities for people like us now. It's not that dangerous and it's not that much hate. It's getting better. There still is a long way to go, but it's getting better. And there is a community of people who will support you. You know, it's just any homophobic, transphobic hate that comes towards me, I don't consider them. I don't know if it sounds weird, but I don't consider them as human. I don't see them as someone who could affect me. I would be like, ye to dusra. Yeah, I would think I'm like, these are a different breed of people who I don't want to be associated with. It's just.
I've seen you vaping. Like, tell me more about it. Yeah.
Me vaping. Yeah, I think this is the only addiction I've had in my life. I've done it all. I've been there, done everything. I had fun in life growing up, and drinking also. It's like I drink once a week, and if I don't drink once a week, I'm not addicted to it. And it's not that at home I want to sit and drink. And this is with most of the things, most of my nashas that I do. But this. I came to Nepal and I saw people doing it and I was like, yum, like cigarettes. I never could get into it because it made me sick. And I was like, it's not addictive. I feel sick. This is just like, first thing you wake up, you want to drink water, and after that you want to smoke. And before you sleep, you want to take a nice puff and then sleep. It's horrible. There will come a time where I'm going to start working on like controlling it.
Is your family okay with you vaping?
No, not really. Like my mom still gets sleepless nights, and whenever she sees me, she's just, don't vape, this is bad for you, and she'll try to scare me and things like that.
But I think you are a pretty healthy person, right? Like you work out, I think.
Yeah.
And I've seen like you're the person who are like fit.
Yeah.
Have you worked on like, what was your fitness journey like?
So my fitness journey was, I started, I think, right when I came to Nepal, or a little bit before Nepal. I started with HIIT training, HIIT, high intensity interval training. And because at a point I realized I'm not fit. I may not be physically looking unfit, where sometimes you become obese and that is a definition of being unfit. But I could see and feel my body, my back aches, also my puffiness, and I was like, I don't feel fit and I'm not doing anything healthy. Like I'm eating whatever I want to. Just because I will not put on so much weight doesn't mean I'm fit and I'm healthy. So that I had that awakening, and also a lot of I think I also had a lot of hate within myself of my appearance, and I wanted to look better, and that also got me into it.
Were you in the skinny side?
I was in the skinny side, but I wasn't looking good. I was also putting on weight slowly, and that like unhealthy weight I was gaining slowly, and I realized I don't look too good looking this way.
So are you conscious about you eating stuff?
I am, and I have phases. There have been times where I'll be like very particular, count my calories. I won't have dinner. I'll have my lunch, a nutritious lunch, and then I'll have an evening snack before, and then I start my intermittent fasting. Now strict and a little harsh on myself because I wanted to look a certain way, which is not realistically possible to gain unless you have this kind of thing. And I would look at myself skinny, abs popping out, no fat on my body and my face, and be like, wow, this is amazing. And any weight I would gain, I would like be a little resentful, like yuck. Like there would be times I'd see a little bit of a double chin in my shoots, and I'd be like yuck, and I would be like disgusting, and I would see I have bump in my forehead, so sometimes when the light is on top, I see, and I have little textures on my face. I'd be like yuck, yuck, yuck. But lately, the past 5-6 months, I've not been the most fit, as in the most healthy. I've not been working out as often. I work out twice a week. I also eat my dinners, and the little weight that I've gained right now that you see. I drank one day. I mean, I met a friend after so long yesterday, and I had a few drinks, which I would never do one day before a podcast. I would, be very conscious. So I think at this phase of my life, I'm more confident of my self-image. I don't mind a little weight here or there till I groom myself up and look good, which is also great. But let's see. I hope this lasts.
Yeah, I think there's a narrative where like taking care of yourself is considered feminine for a lot of guys, right? They won't do skincare. They won't do the basic stuff, right?
Yeah.
Take a shower. Like taking a shower is for them. It's like a, nothing like once a week or twice a week,
Yeah, disgusting.
So, like, have you seen like those things on TikTok where like if you do a skincare thing, it's just for girls, right?
Yeah.
They associate with girls. Only feminine people do that, which I think is not true because it's just taking care of yourself. Like keeping yourself tidy is not feminine.
Yeah. And I think that is so convenient that men can get away with that, no? That I don't have to groom myself and I'm still hot. But women, you need to wax, you need to do skincare, you need to wear your nail polish, you need to get your hair done, you need to do makeup, and then they'll still be like, oh, but without all of this you won't look pretty. Like, what the hell? It's so convenient. But I think if men want to look pretty for long, and in the way the future is going, you need to look good and presentable, and women also are demanding good looking men who are tidy up and who groom themselves up. If being a man, you aren't doing that yet, you are lagging behind and you won't get any girls.
I don't think like guys even have to do makeup. Like, they can just like have the cleanser. They can do their normal stuff,
basic
right?
skincare, sunscreen and moisturizer. Daytime sunscreen, Rati moisturizer. Groom yourself. Men have to start losing hair for them to start taking care of their hair. Why don't you do it in advance? Men have to, really like something bad has to happen for them to start taking care. It's too late. I think with all the information that we have, we need to know that if you want to preserve yourself, preserve yourself from aging fast, or taking care of your skin, you need to do skincare. Yeah. I mean, it's such a backward mentality.
Yeah. I think I find those people in the comment section in those skincare thing.
Mero ma always okay, Arey bro, get over it. Like that mindset is not good. If you don't want to take care of your skin, it's fine. But other people taking care of it, like
9 times out of 10, your famous actor, like these famous actors also do makeup for the screen, right?
10 times out of 10.
Yeah. Like they'll be doing something else. They might need makeup. It's just not out in the public, but they do that stuff.
Yeah. And that kind of makeup is not to make you look feminine, but to make you self look fresh. And that's the kind of makeup I do. And when I've come on a podcast, I also put a little light makeup, which make myself look slightly better, more fresh,
Yeah.
And I feel comfortable doing that. If actors are macho, Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, Akshay Kumar is doing it, and just because the actors, everyone wants to look good and can look good. And are they any feminine because they're putting that makeup? No, they're just looking better, more presentable. So I think this notion of makeup, skincare change, I think TikTok will help it change because so many people are talking about it, and TikTok is a good way of getting awareness that way.
True. So thank you so much, Parakram.
Thank you
for being here. You change a lot of perspectives, especially about a lot of things that we discussed, right? So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It was fun. It was very candid, and that's why I also came. I was like, your podcasts are really cool and real,